and I'm the CEO of Yelp, a company I co-founded in 2004 with my former colleague from PayPal, Russell Simmons. At Yelp, our mission is to connect people with great local businesses. The site allows people throughout the country to share detailed and passionate reviews about businesses in their neighborhood. In turn, businesses that provide great value and good service are able to establish and promote themselves online. Today, Yelp employs more than 800 people throughout the country. More than 60 million consumers use Yelp every month to decide how and where to spend their hard-earned money. And on the flip side, job growth in this country relies on small but fast-growing and successful businesses. Yelp helps them reach new customers by amplifying their positive word of mouth online. This hearing is important because it examines issues that go to the heart of innovation, whether new ideas can compete fairly against expanding monopolies. In our case, I wonder if we would have been able to start Yelp today given Google's recent actions. Let's be clear, Google is no longer in the business of sending people to the best sources of information on the web. It now hopes to be a destination site itself for one vertical market after another, including news, shopping, travel, and now local business reviews. It would be one thing if these efforts were conducted on a level playing field, but the reality is they're not. The experience in my industry is telling. Google forces review websites to provide their content for free to benefit Google's own competing product, not consumers. Google then gives its own product preferential treatment in Google search results. Google first began taking our content without permission a year ago. Despite public and private protests, Google gave the ultimatum that only a monopolist can give. In order to appear in web search, you must allow us to use your content to compete against you. As everyone in this room knows, not being in Google is equivalent to not existing on the internet. We had no choice. Recently, Google has inexplicably softened its stance. What changed? Well, the FTC announced an antitrust investigation. The state attorneys general took notice, and this committee proposed this hearing. Was this an admission of anti-competitive conduct? Perhaps, but questionable practices remain. Websites in Google's search results now take a backseat to Google's own competing products. This is typically accomplished by calling special attention to Google-owned properties through larger text, bright graphics, isolated placement, and pushing objectively ranked websites down the page. What we're most concerned about is that Google is no longer satisfied with pointing users at the best content anywhere on the web it can be found. Instead, it seems they prefer to send users to the most profitable content on the web, which is naturally their own. Is a consumer, or a small business for that matter, well served when Google artificially promotes its own properties regardless of merit? This has little to do with helping consumers get to the best information. It has everything to do with generating more revenue. So where's the harm? I live and work in San Francisco, which sits on the border of Silicon Valley, a place that has participated in the development of some of the most amazing products and services over the last few decades, including Google. Today represents a rare opportunity for the government to protect innovation, allowing a search engine with monopoly market share to exploit and extend its dominance hampers entrepreneurial activity. Ensuring open and equal competition will sustain and foster innovation and job growth. It will also ensure that the price of internet advertising paid by small businesses will be set by the market and not solely by a monopolist. When one company controls the market, it ultimately controls consumer choice. If competition really were just a click away, as Google suggests, why have they invested so heavily to be the default choice in web browsers and mobile phones? Clearly, they're not taking any chances. So again, I thank the committee for its time and interest, and I look forward to assisting in any way that I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stoppelman. Ms. Creighton.
Mr. Schmidt asked me to clarify for the record that Google Places and Yelp are both applications or apps, mobile apps. So Mr. Schmidt asked me to clarify that both Places, Google Places, and Yelp are mobile apps.
Oh,